What's going on, DFS fans? How is everybody today? And my name is Ryan Kostrowski. This is the DFS 5-Pack. We're here for our daily tip of the day. If you haven't been checking these out before, go watch through them, guys, if you can. Just little things we can pick up on DFS. Just kind of keep it simple. Been playing this game every single day for, I don't know, man, 6 years or whatever it's been. So it's been a while. And just trying to instill just the slightest bit of wisdom that I may have fallen into over the years. All right, guys. So, again, as always, if you're new to the station, easiest way to get more videos, red button to press subscribe. Thumbs up, always appreciate it. And if you want to sign up now, it is the very last day of the MLB sale for only $85. Prices will go up. It's also the last day of the lifetime sale, $325. It's going up to $400 tomorrow. You can send payments this way, pay through the website. You'll get your reimbursement. But today's tip, obviously, this is not my saying, but it's a saying I've been using a lot lately. Seems to be getting traction with a number of viewers. Got a good number of comments saying people like it. So let's address it in a little bit more length today, and that is Occam's razor. Now, you can see the definition in the bottom. Occam's razor is a logical principle attributed to the medieval philosopher William of Occam. The principle states that one should not make more assumptions than the minimum needed. This principle is often called the principle of parsimony. I don't even know that word. It underlies all scientific modeling and theory building. So if we want to think about that in a less complex version, they're just trying to tell you here is the simplest answer is often the correct one. Not always, but when you're playing NBA DFS or whatever DFS sport, and you're having to make decisions on the fly and, make quick decisions and all those things, like I often just hear people, I think, trying way too hard to come up with reasons why they, want to go against somebody who's in a really good spot and play somebody who isn't. Now, this completely contradicts yesterday's video where we talked about why we play contrarian in MLB. But in a way, it doesn't, because MLB is funky that way. And in a lot of ways, Matt has a way of referring to it that, yeah, you feel like the simplest way is to go play Machado in a good spot. He goes, I look at it a different way. If I'm trying to beat everybody, all I got to do is pick that one guy at 1%. Well, your guy's 70% on. My guy hits a bomb. Your guy goes 0 for 4, and I'm way ahead of the field. So, in a way, yes, it does contradict yesterday, but it really just depends on how you view things. But normally, when you're playing NBA DFS, year-long baseball, NFL DFS, whatever it might be, the easiest answer and the simplest answer is right more than the complex answer. So, break it down in a real-life scenario. Let's pretend that I got $50 missing out of my wallet. Now, it's difficult to admit that maybe your kids are stealing from you, but that would be the more likely answer than some grave, government conspiracy or somebody broke into my house, took $50 out of my wallet, but left the other $100 bill that I had. So it sucks to hear it, but the easiest answer there is my kid probably took it, and that would most likely be the right answer. I know that doesn't completely relate to fantasy sports, but you kind of get where I'm going from that one. So last night, I thought we had a great example of this, and it was such an obvious play to me and to most people to play Cousins and Boban. They were big-time chalk. They both crushed it, did what they were supposed to. I mean, they were as obvious to the point that even contrarian Bellman wanted to play them last night, so they made a lot of sense. But yet, I fielded a variety of questions regarding Hassan Whiteside because Joel Embiid wasn't playing. Now, Whiteside wasn't good. I thought that was a good example of trying too hard to think of a reason to play somebody. Doesn't mean Whiteside couldn't have gone off right there. He didn't. He's very erratic. We know Whiteside can go off at any point. But playing him over guys like Boban and Cousins last night just to me was trying a little bit too hard when you had obvious, like slam dunk, almost surefire picks right in front of you. And I don't even think Cousins played that well last night compared to what he could have offered. And he still had pretty good points based on what it was. So you don't need to be super contrarian with a bunch of picks in basketball and, NFL. One or two guys at lower ownership while, 5, 6 guys in chalk will oftentimes get you to the top of GPPs. If you looked at the GPP winning lineups last night, what percentage of them had Boban? Probably damn near all of them, if not 100% of them. It was just oftentimes the obvious pick is the correct one. And sometimes you don't have to think too hard to try to be different, because sometimes a pick you believe to be obvious isn't a place other people will go. Because like on a basketball slate, like 9 games tonight, I mean, there's 50 dudes in play. So you're going to have different, lineup creations, the majority of people out there, it does get a little funky when you play like those 2-game slates, and it's a little bit different, but still oftentimes most of your picks can be obvious picks. And if you want to be different with fewer people. Now, baseball is the sport that this is different. Again, we broke that down yesterday in pretty great length about why that is. But I do like the way that Bellman explains that, talking about how to him that is the path of least resistance, and that is the easiest way to do it. Just because Machado is in a great place at 50% ownership doesn't mean that Chris Bryant at 1% ownership isn't in close to as good of a place. And it is the path of least resistance in a weird way. So again, it's stuff we've talked over. It's a good and different way to look at it. But for most of the time, guys, the easiest answer is right more often than the more complex answer. So that's what we got today, guys. Glad to have NBA back. We'll come out here in a little while and talk through today's NBA slate. Thanks for watching. Last day availability of the lifetime sale. Get in there. Otherwise, talk to y'all soon.